Welcome back to WEDO Pay It Forward. I'm so excited for you to hear Michelle Murphy of Michelle Murphy Design and how she will be talking about using your network to grow your business. Welcome. I'm Milena Radakovic and this is WEDO Pay It Forward. Hi everyone, I'm so excited to have my next guest, Michelle Murphy from Michelle Murphy Design. Welcome, thanks so much for being here. Why don't you tell us about your business and how you got started?
Sure, absolutely. So my business is Michelle Murphy Interior Design. I started about 5 years ago. I've been in the industry for about 10 years. Bit of residential, bit of commercial, bounced around a little bit before starting my own business. And yeah, I got into it in high school, just really wanted to help other people and had a great eye for spaces and helping bring their vision to life.
Oh, wonderful. Well, thanks so much for being here. So tell us, what has been one of the hardest things that you have had to go to or encounter as an entrepreneur?
For sure. I'd say one of the hardest parts was actually just kind of starting out. I was unsure of, when to make that leap. When should I leave the corporate world and kind of take that step, right? So I started my own business while working full time, tried to, get into it just a little bit and not dive too deep. And so it was a little bit of a struggle trying to figure out when was the right time. And a lot of people kept saying, well, there's never the perfect time, right?
That's right, yeah.
So I'd say that was the hardest part at the beginning, was just trying to figure out, when was right for me. And once I took that step, just no regrets, no looking back.
Oh, fantastic. So in the 5 years that you've been in business now, are there certain growing pains that you might have gone through that you can share so our audience can learn from?
Absolutely. Yeah, I'd say some of the biggest pain points for me was trying to figure out how much work I could take on. So being a solopreneur on my own, I didn't want to go in over my head and accept too many clients at once, but I also wanted to make sure that I had enough projects going on and enjoyed getting, different projects to dabble in, right? So that was one point. And then another was trying to figure out when to start outsourcing some work. So trying to decide, maybe when's the right time to add someone, how much can I do on my own? So just starting small with things like hiring a bookkeeper. So maybe the areas that I'm not an expert in, they could support me a little bit. So that was kind of where I started.
And so how many contractors or staff do you have right now?
Sure, absolutely. So I have a bookkeeper now, I have an accountant, and I have a copywriter as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And so what would be the next step? So you've gone through and you've become a successful designer now. And what are some of the next steps of growth that you're looking at?
Absolutely. The next steps for me would be hiring a design assistant. So I'm hoping that in 2024, I'm going to be at that point that I can bring on someone to support me on the design side of things so that I can keep taking more projects and balancing that out and helping me with some of that collaboration and support I really love.
So we have a few people in our audience that are probably going to be looking at, they either have a service-based business or looking to start a service-based business.
Sure.
How do you get new clients?
Absolutely. The best for me has been word of mouth. Referrals have been huge for me. I'd say over 50% of my business is through word of mouth. So get out there and network. It makes a huge difference. The more people you know, the more networks you get into. And follow up, do those one-to-ones, keep those relationships going. That's key.
Yeah, one of our other speakers here also said network is really important.
Absolutely.
Because it's more cost effective to use your network than spending money on SEO or advertising, which is all good, but you want to have that
full rounded. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yep.
Wonderful. Has there been any tips that other entrepreneurs have provided? I'm sure in your network you probably went through some for guidance. What were some of the learnings that you captured from them?
Absolutely. There was quite a bit. I have a good network of designers specifically that were all solopreneurs, and we sort of come together to collaborate and support one another as we grow. And some of the best advice that I've probably got is, to not limit yourself. There's so much support out there, so many people you can reach out to, and don't be afraid to ask questions, So I think we're all learning and trying to figure everything out as solopreneurs. It's probably our first time diving into this, so just use each other, support one another, and we can all grow together.
Oh, that's wonderful. Is there a struggle that you're going through right now that you can share with us?
Sure. I'd say the struggle right now is I'm sort of rebranding for the new year. So just trying to get everything aligned and working out so that I can do that sort of relaunch in the new year. So more of a struggle in making sure I manage my time well to get that all done before the new year. So new website, some new services and pricing and things like that. So.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That is especially coming to the end of the year, and you're taking on a really
it was a big commitment.
Yeah. So you had mentioned that you get a lot of your clients from referrals and network.
Yeah.
And if there's somebody starting out, how do they look at joining a network? Like, what are some of the things that they should look for?
Absolutely. I'd say to look out for some networks, whether that's like a networking event or a networking group that has similar goals and values in mind, just because you're probably going to resonate well with the people in the group, or try to find groups that have similar industries. Like I go to a few that are building industry events because I know I'm going to be able to meet contractors and trades and other professionals in the industry. So that's been nice for me. So I think kind of dive a little bit into each group or networking event to see if it's a good fit for you.
Oh, that's great. I like that very much.
Yeah.
What would you say is in the growing aspirations? So you said you're going to look at bringing somebody in next year. How are you going to maybe change your time as an entrepreneur with bringing somebody else on?
For sure. I'd say the biggest thing I'm looking forward to is trying to have a little more of that work-life balance. So maybe, ending things at 6 instead of working after dinner and things like that would be really nice. And I'm hoping that not only will it be a benefit to me, but I'm trying to find a design student as well that can hopefully learn a bit from me while they're finishing up their program. So.
Oh, that is great.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. So for our audience, for women who are looking at maybe leaving their corporate and starting on their own, what's the best tip that someone gave you to when you said, okay, this is the time to take the plunge and I'm going to do it?
I think the best advice would be there's never a perfect time. I kept waiting until I felt that there was the perfect time to leave. And I think as long as you're happy with, your goals and where you're at, it's going to be great. It will work out in the end if you are happy about what you're doing. It makes a big difference that you enjoy what you're doing, who you're working with. So make the jump.
Oh, that's great. Oh, thank you so much. And the person that you're hiring, being that it's your baby, what are you going to be looking for in that person to bring in? Because I'm sure other people are like, okay, I could use someone to help me out. What should I be looking for?
Yeah, exactly. I'd say a couple things that I'm going to be looking for is attention to detail. Not only because of the business I'm in, there are a lot of details involved, but also just somebody that can sort of be my right-hand person, make sure that I'm not missing anything either, being able to support one another in that way. And then the other thing is just having a creative side. So even if their background is in interior design, if they do have a creative side, that would be a nice aspect to bring into the business as well.
Oh, wonderful. Well, thank you so much for taking time to join us. Can you let the audience know how can they get a hold of you and your business?
Absolutely. So feel free to check out my website, Michelle Murphy Design. As I mentioned, it will be brand new in the start of the new year, so keep an eye out. And all of my social media is under Michelle Murphy Design as well.
Fantastic. Can't wait to check it out.
Awesome.
Well, thank you so much for being here, and thank you, audience, for listening in. Thank you to our supporting sponsors, Caitlin and Adam of Enta Solutions, for paying it forward and supporting the next generation of women entrepreneurs. If you are inspired and want to join the We Do community, then go on WeDoCanada.com and also nominate and sponsor the next inspirational woman.